Geotechnical can be categorized into soil mechanics and foundation engineering. The GATE weightage is 15 marks for geotechnical. The syllabus for geotechnical is this. In this video, we will see GATE question and answer under topic consolidation. In GATE 1997, under consolidation topic, the question asked was sand rains are used to, and the options are these. So here, a building is laying on the ground surface. Underneath, some soil grains are there. So in between the soil grains, some air is also trapped here. In the case 2, water is trapped in between the soil grain. So when you apply pressure on the ground, the air will escape from that pores. So this expulsion of air, removal of air by applying pressure is called compaction. But when water that is entrapped is released while you apply some load, then that release of water will cause a settlement. This water entrapped here is being removed from here because of the application of the load. So this settlement, this compression is known as consolidation, right? So this settlement is occurred due to the release of water or removal of water from the pores. Consolidation, it should be of clay, because in clay the water is trapped in between the pores, so it will take some time to get released from the pores. If you apply load, this water entrapped will take time to release from the pores, so that will cause the settlement gradually. But taking a sand, this water particles will easily get drained from the soil grains, because sand is very much permeable compared to clay. So coming to our question, are used to what? Reduce the settlement? No. Accelerate the consolidation? Yes. Sand rains will drain out the water faster when compared to clay, right? So this is right answer. In GATE 1999, the question asked was consolidation in soils is a function of the effective stress, does not depend on the present stress, is a function of the pore water pressure, is a function of the total stress. So to understand this question, I'll just show you some graph and formulas. Graph between void ratio and effective stress. So here we can say effective stress is being involved. Here compression index is also an important formula. You will use it in this chapter. Here also you can see in the numerator void ratio and in denominator effective stress is involved. So we can say consolidation means it is more like compression. So compression involves functions of effective stress. So consolidation in soils is a function of the effective stress. A double draining clay layer 6 meter thick settles by 30 mm in 3 years under the influence of a certain loads. Its final consolidation settlement has been estimated to be 120 mm. If a thin layer of sand having negligible thickness is introduced at a depth of 1.5 meter below the top surface, the final consolidation settlement of clay layer will be. This question, by just reading, you can answer it if you know the concept well. So just for the understanding, I'll just explain. Here a clay layer of 6 meter is given. After 3 years, it is settled for 30 mm and a final settlement is happening to be 120 mm, and they are asking if in case we introduce a new sand layer in between, this is the portion, in between they introduce a sand layer. In this 6 meter they are introducing a sand layer here, because we know sand will accelerate the consolidation process. Example, if in case this 30 mm is settling for in a 3 years, If we introduce the sand layer in between, this 30 mm will settle, will happen maybe in 2 years also, because the drainage path created by sand will remove the water very easily, very earlier. Okay, so this sand path they have introduced, and they are asking what will be the final settlement, what will be the final settlement if I introduce this sand layer, new sand layer. One thing you must understand, how much ever layer we introduce in between, okay, how much ever layer we introduce in between, this soil totally can settle, that is finally it can settle only about 120 mm only. The year it takes may take 10 years here, but when you introduce a drainage path, that is sand layer in between, it will take 5 years. That is the only difference. Only time difference is there, but the final settlement will be the same, because that soil, particular soil can only settle till that amount. More than that, beyond that, it will not settle. Okay, so there is no change in the final settlement, but there is only change in the time difference. Therefore, the given 120 mm given here in this question, the same 120 mm will only settle. Therefore, the answer is B. Root time method is used for determining. This question was asked in GATE 2005. Here it is given, out of the many methods available, the following two methods will be described here. That is for determination of coefficient of consolidation. There are many methods, but two methods they have listed here: square root of time fitting method and logarithmic of time fitting method. So in the given options, we can mark that it is for coefficient of consolidation. So determining the consolidation, this root time method is used. In the year GATE 2010, under the topic consolidation, the question asked was, the E log P curve shown in the figure is representative of. Here they have drawn a graph between log P and void ratio. So here in the x-axis load pressure they have taken, and in the y-axis void ratio. With respect to the application of the load, how the void ratio is changing, that is what they have drawn. So particularly they have taken and given some graph, and they are asking at what condition this graph is plotted. So here the conditions are given. We must understand what is normally consolidated clay, over consolidated, under consolidated. Okay, so then we can answer this question. So clay only can hold some water inside it, and then it will release when load is applied. So totally consolidation, we talk about only the clay. So coming here to understand normally consolidated, pre-consolidated or over consolidated, the given options only I am talking about. It is not a different type of soil, so it is defining certain conditions. So first we will understand what is normally consolidated soil. Here a certain building is built here on the, and it is, the load is being applied on the soil. Here this particular soil is being acted upon by this given load. So this soil is taking only this currently applied overburden. Overburden means nothing but the building, that the load we talk about, that is what overburden we call it. So here the pressure given to this soil is only this building load. So this soil, just we are taking some history about the soil. Now, after studying the history of that particular soil, I am coming to know that I am the first person to build a building here upon this soil. So that means this soil haven't taken any previous loads. This building load is the only load that it is experiencing. Beyond this load, it didn't experience. This soil didn't experience. So this particular soil is called normally consolidated soil. So coming to over consolidated soil, this is, while I'm talking about the history of the soil, I'm coming to know once upon a time there was a building. That building was heavier than the building that I have constructed now. So this soil previously it has experienced a maximum amount of load in the soil. So that building has been demolished and now I have constructed. So this soil has experienced a maximum pressure on it. So this soil has undergone consolidation to the maximum. So there is no chance that it can settle anymore. This soil will not settle anymore because already it has experienced a maximum load and the consolidation process has completed in that particular soil. And now currently it is taking some lesser amount of load on that soil. So this soil will not go any more settlement. This soil is called over consolidated soil. Coming to under consolidated soil, there is a building and this soil is undergoing consolidation process due to this particular building load. That is called under consolidated soil. That is, this soil is undergoing a process of consolidation. And so this particular soil is called under consolidated soil. But a slight difference between normally consolidated and under consolidated. The first case, right, I told you normally consolidated soil. In that normally consolidated soil, that particular soil is the consolidation process is completed due to the current load that is present on it. Okay, but in under consolidated soil, the consolidation is not completed, it is undergoing. The process is on. The process is going on. So that is the difference between normally consolidated and under consolidated soil. Normally consolidated clay and over consolidated clay. The graph is plotted for void ratio versus pressure applied on it. For normally consolidated, it is a straight line. For over consolidated, it is a curved one. But under consolidated, we cannot draw because it is still in process. The consolidation is not completed. Okay, so by checking this graph, we can understand a given graph is for over consolidated clay. And the last case they have stated normally consolidated clayey sand. So I told you when talking about consolidation, there is nothing to talk with the sand. There is no, we cannot talk about sand here in the consolidation process. Next question, GATE 2016 in set 2, they have asked this question. The results of a consolidation test on an undisturbed soil sampled at a depth of 10 meter below the ground level are as follows. The result they have given here. The water table was encountered at the ground level. Assuming the unit weight of water as 10 kN per meter cube, the over consolidation ratio of the soil is. They have asked over consolidated ratio. There is a formula for finding this ratio, sigma C dash by sigma dash. So sigma C dash is nothing but the maximum pressure that is subjected on the over consolidated soil in the past. So as I said, the maximum pressure that is given will be taken as sigma C dash, and sigma dash is nothing but the existing pressure. Currently whatever pressure or overburden is given on that soil, that is called sigma dash. This OCR, over consolidated ratio, they have asked. By OCR ratio we can find what condition that is existing on the soil. So OCR ratio, if it is greater than 1, then we can say the soil is over consolidated. OCR is equal to 1, then it is normal consolidated soil. Then OCR is less than 1, then you can say it is under consolidated clay soil. So therefore, coming to the question, we must find the OCR ratio for the given condition. They have given pre-consolidated soil pressure, that is 90 kilopascal. So that is maximum sigma C dash. Now currently present effective pressure we have to find. For that they have given soil unit weight, that is 16. So 16, and under the depth 10 meter only they are sampled it. So into 10. So always we will subtract the pore pressure for finding effective pressure. So subtract that pore pressure, that is 10 meter depth and 10 is this unit weight of the water. Therefore, we will get 60 kilopascal as the current pressure that is acting upon it. So, sigma C dash we know, sigma dash we know. By substituting in the given formula OCR, we will find OCR to be OCR here. We arrived it as 1.5. Here, the answer is 1.5. 2017 from set 1. A 3-meter thick clay layer is subjected to an initial uniform pore pressure of 145 kilopascal as shown in the figure. For the given ground conditions, the time required for 90% consolidation would be. Time factor formula TV equals to CV T by D square. CV is nothing but coefficient of consolidation. There is a separate formula to find CV, and small t is the time for consolidation. D is drainage path. So D will vary based on the condition. If single drainage, then you will take it as it is given in the question. If it's a double drainage, then you will take the depth as half. So what is mean by single drainage? So example, this is our soil. For this you are going to find time factor. So in that case, if they have given that there is a sand layer present at the top or only at the bottom, any one of the side, then you can take that it is a single drainage condition, because water will only escape from this side only. The other side is an impermeable layer, right? So this is the whatever height, say in case if they are given 3 meter, then you will take and write D as 3 itself. In another case, if drainage path is present in both sides, sand layer is also present at the bottom and also at the top, then in this case you will take D as H by 2, small d as H by 2, that is 3 by 2. Okay, so like this you will take D and substitute in the formula. So in the given problem, it is given to be single drainage. Only sand is present only at the top. The bottom side is impermeable stratum. So therefore, CV they have given, TV they have given, they have asked, and D also we can take and write from here. So 3 meter and single drainage, that means as it is, you will substitute in the formula. They have asked only the time duration, this small t. After substituting the given TV as it is given 3 CV value and small t, we are keeping it aside, and 3000 is nothing but we have converted this 3 meter into mm, because the other things that is CV is in terms of mm. So after substituting we will get t in terms of minutes. Then in the given options, based on the given options we can convert it. So here we will convert it to days. So if you just convert it to days, you will get around 1771 days. In the year GATE 2019, in set number 2, construction of a new building founded on a clayey soil was completed in January 2010. In January 2014, the average consolidation settlement of the foundation in clay was recorded as 10 mm. The ultimate consolidation settlement was estimated in design as 40 mm. Considering double drainage to occur at the clayey soil site, the expected consolidation settlement in January 2019, that is 10 mm. Initially, there is a settlement of 10 mm. In a duration of 4 years, this 10 mm settlement has occurred. And what they are asking, they also have given a final settlement. Ultimate consolidation settlement means the soil can undergo a final settlement of 40 mm. So SF also they have given final settlement, but they didn't give at what time it will occur. They just have given that it will settle for 40 mm. They didn't give that particular duration. Considering double drainage to occur, so double drainage is there, and that particular giving that the expected consolidation settlement in January 2019. Therefore, for the time duration 9 years, how much settlement would have occurred? That is what we are going to find. Some of the formulas that I introduce here, kindly check these formulas. For degree of consolidation, it is represented by letter U. This is settlement at any time by ultimate settlement or final settlement. So for U, when degree of consolidation is less than equal to 60%, your TV formula will be this. And when U is greater than 60%, the TV formula time factor S1 to be 10 mm at 4 years. And final settlement, that is represented as SF, 40 mm. Here we must find U, degree of consolidation. That is, for 40 mm, that is 40 mm is 100% settlement. So what percentage is 10 mm settlement? That is what we have to find. For that only they have given certain formulas. U to be some settlement at some time by your ultimate settlement into 100, right? So by this you can understand 25% of consolidation has occurred. That means this 10 mm is 25% of 40 mm. U is less than equal to 60% because we got only 25%. Therefore, according to that, we have to use TV formula. Now, using this formula, when U is less than equal to 60%, TV1 formula is this. The respective TV1 value, we will get it as 0.0491. Okay. We have a TV common formula involving CVT and D. So, in this formula, we can say TV is directly proportional to the time duration. Okay, time factor is directly proportional to the duration of the settlement. Here, TV1 we found it 0.0491 and this is for year 4 years. For at 9 years, what is your TV2? For that only we are going to use that TV is directly proportional to T relationship. So therefore TV1 is equals to T1 divided by TV2, right? Divide by here small t2 because it is directly proportional. Therefore, by using this relation, we can substitute and find TV2 value. Okay, TV2 value we will need to find. We know TV1 and T1, TV2 time factor 2 and duration 2. After substituting, we will get our TV2 to be 0.11044. Find the degree of consolidation, that is in terms of percentage, how much settlement has occurred in the 9 years duration we are going to find. And I showed you some formulas here for degree of consolidation. When based on the U condition, we have a TV formula, and also another condition based on that TV value, we will need to choose the formula. So U less than equal to 60% or TV less than equal to 0.282. Like that, we need to choose this according to that. For according to that condition, we must choose the formula. If TV is greater than 0.282, we must choose this formula. Okay. So here in our question TV2, we got 0.11044. So that means this condition is satisfied. TV value is less than this 0.282. Hence, we are going to take this formula and substitute TV and going to find U, degree of consolidation. That is percentage of settlement. We have substituted TV value, that is TV2. Okay. So for that respective TV2 time factor, what is your degree of consolidation? Degree of consolidation U is 37.5. Whatever value you got, that is in percentage. Okay. Here we got U2. So respective settlement we have to find. Then final settlement they have given. So we know this formula U equals settlement at any time by final settlement into 100. So therefore by substituting in this formula, we will get the respective S2. After substituting our respective settlement, we will find it as 15 mm. 9 years duration. This is the settlement that would have occurred. In consolidation chapter, there will be a certain set of formulas that you need to memorize. Then once you start practicing many number of questions, you will understand where to use what formula. Next question. In the year GATE 2020, in the set 2 question paper asked, a one-dimensional consolidation test is carried out on a standard 19 mm thick clay sample. The Edometer's deflection gauge indicates a reading of 2.1 mm just before removal of the load without allowing any swelling. The void ratio is 0.62 at this stage. The initial void ratio of the standard specimen is. So after removing, at that point the void ratio is 0.62 and they are asking for initial void ratio. I told you whenever they are applying some load, compression happens. So some voids are removed from the soil. So that's how consolidation happens. The respective formula for our question is this. Delta H we know, and beginning of the test height is also 19 mm given. Delta E is nothing but initial void ratio minus the final stage void ratio, and here at the below 1 plus E naught, that is initial void ratio. After substituting delta H and E naught minus final stage void ratio by 1 plus E naught, you will get your E naught. So initially it was 0.82. After it is subjected to load application, it has reduced to 0.62. Okay. The year 2021, in the set 1 gate question was asked, in an Edometer apparatus, a specimen of fully saturated clay has been consolidated under a vertical pressure of 50 kN per meter square and is presently at equilibrium. The effective stress and pore water pressure immediately on increasing the vertical stress to 150 kN per meter square respectively are. To answer this question, we must understand what is happening in the consolidation process. So, when a load is being applied, I said a building load is being applied on the ground surface. So, some load is applied for consolidation purpose. So, this water, pore water, will take the immediate load that is being applied. So, your pore water will take that load as soon as load applied, that is immediately after loading. That time your soil particles will have 0 from that load. So, therefore totally pore water is taking down that load. Then after some time during consolidation, from water, due to expulsion of water, I said some water will start to escape. Therefore, after some escape of water, that load is being transferred to your soil particles. So that time your effective stress will start to increase. From 0, it will start to increase. But your pore water pressure is transferring that load. Whatever load it was carrying, that is carried to the soil particles. So it is going to reduce the load. Okay, so next, at the final stage, the pore water pressure, when water is totally escaped from the pores, that is the end of the process. So when the water is expelled from the pores, the total load that is given or applied is now transferred to the soil particles alone. So the effective stress is now has become equal to the load applied. And now your pore water is 0. Understand what they have given in the question. In an Edometer apparatus, a specimen fully saturated clay has been consolidated under a vertical pressure 50 kN per meter square and is presently at equilibrium. So they have mentioned is presently at equilibrium. That means it has reached the third stage, end of the consolidation. Whatever pressure they have applied, that load is now carried to the soil particles. So this 50 kN per meter square is nothing but the effective stress, right? Then the effective stress and pore water pressure immediately on increasing the vertical stress to 150 kN per meter square. From this 50, they are increasing to 150 kN per meter square. That means plus 100 pressure they have given. At equilibrium means totally it is transferred to the soil. So it is nothing but the effective stress. And now coming to the increase of pressure. They are increasing more 100 pressure, that is to 150 range they are increasing. So they have added some 100 kilopascal now. So this 100 kilopascal first transferred to the pore water pressure. Now we know that effective stress is 50 kilopascal and U has become 100 kilopascal. So effective stress 50 and pore water pressure 100.